So, okay, so I started, yeah, maybe Goldust. Goldust was probably the first heel that I liked. It probably, yeah, I think that was the divergence, and it was probably right around the right time. You know?
Now, you just said were you a heel or babyface?
No, I wasn't one of those cool kids that likes the heels. I always liked the baby faces. You know, Hogan was the gateway drug, and then it was all Macho Man all day. And I mean,
yeah,
you know, and then it was Brett and Shawn and Diesel, just whoever was the good guy, whoever was the top good guy. That was my guy.
Now, was there any other wrestling that you watched?
Well, I started to that was all I knew. And then once I started finding the magazines is when it really started to open the door to the fact that there's not only all this other stuff, but also there'd been all this stuff before. Like I remember it was probably like 1993. We were back in the States and there's the old picture book. I think it's called This Is Wrestling. And it's like all the territory pictures and stuff. And I saw this picture of the Bushwhackers, but they weren't the Bushwhackers. They were all bloody and they were these absolute brutal animals. And I was like, what? Luke and I mean, these are the guys that lick everybody. Like what? And then you start to realize, oh, there was a life before the Bushwhackers. Then I start reading about the sheep herders. And then I start reading about the whole promotion that's going on over there. And then Puerto Rico over here where they're doing this stuff. And then as the years go on and you start to tape trade and find out about what's going on in Japan and start to find all the tapes from the territories that were happening, you know, when you didn't even realize that any of it was happening. So, you know, I think so it was finding the magazines and it was also realizing WCW was a thing was a big deal because that really was the first time that I realized there was other wrestling. So you come across it on television or whatever, you just see WCW because you didn't have the internet, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have any of it. So just somehow WCW comes across your radar and you're like, there's another wrestling group. And now and every little breadcrumb opened the world more and more and more. And you realize and I'm sure it frustrated my parents because as obsessed as I was, the further you get, the more obsessed you get. Because the world keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, did you follow any wrestling in England when you were there?
No, I didn't.
U.S. wrestling,
local wrestling, yeah.
Like Big Daddy and all those guys.
Yeah,
I didn't really know any of it. I don't think that the scene was very big, at least in the area that I was in that 1989, 1990, 1991 era. Because it wasn't on my radar whatsoever. I found out about it later, and I kind of wish that I'd been more invested in it. But no, I didn't know any of it.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna put you. Go ahead, Don.
So I was just saying because they had really fallen off after the early '80s, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they had TV. I don't even know if they had much TV at that time during the '90s either.
They did, so. Yeah. They had TV, but they don't know if they had TV at that time. You know, they had TV that was really big. You know, in the '70s and '80s. That's when St. Clair.
Yeah, but the '90s, the late '90s there.
Yeah, that's when St. Clair.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Sam. When WCW and Eric Bischoff famous 83 weeks, did you kind of waffle over to WCW to see what was going on, or did your fandom stay with WWF?
Well, I was a big time channel flipper. You know, I mean, it was you were earning views at that point.
Okay,
I was always a WWE loyalist. People call me a shill now. I'm like, I've been a shill since I was 10 years old.
You're consistent.
Yeah, that's it. It's just ingrained. So I was always an overall loyalist. And even at the beginning of Nitro, I was like, oh, these guys, I didn't want to admit how good the cruiserweight stuff was and how there was some revolutionary stuff going on.
And it was good, man.
Yes, it was really
good. It was really good. I think, I also started getting into ECW in 1995. I found it and was getting super into ECW. So when Sabu started popping up on Nitro, that got my attention. But I mean, yeah, but the NWO storyline, I mean, it was for like probably the first year. It was until the Austin stuff really started to take off. The NWO stuff was, I mean, it was the best. It was the best thing in wrestling.
It was.
Was it Austin or was it Austin Tyson that got you? Did Tyson have any influence on that?
Tyson did for sure, because the Tyson thing made it go, okay, this isn't just, I think the Tyson segment made it so this isn't just potential. Like, I was already kind of locked into the whole Austin scene even before Tyson. Like, you could just feel something's happening over here, because I was also like a massive Mankind guy. I had always been a big Undertaker guy. Like, you could see Shawn Michaels started to develop more of an edge. Like, all this was happening. So, and I mean, like, you know, I've been watching the whole time. Like, I mean, probably the most embarrassing photo that exists is, I mean, it's probably more embarrassing for my father than it is for me, but in 1996, my father took me to Madison Square Garden for Survivor Series, and I was dressed from head to toe as Goldust with a robe and everything.
No. And they got you on camera?
Well, there's photos of me. I wasn't on television.
Okay.
But I mean, head
And
to
your
toe,
father let you do that?
Oh, you should. I've never. My father's face when he goes to one of the ticket takers or whatever, and he goes, "Oh, could you just tell us where we are?" And the guy points us in the direction, and my dad goes, "Oh, thanks." And he goes, "You and your daughter have a good time."
Oh,
wow. Tremendous. Now, how old were you at the time?
In 96, I was probably like 12.
Right.
Just I was a little probably about 12. But I mean, full, like, I mean, feathers.
But now, is this not a divergence because you were normally a babyface fan?
So, okay, so I started, maybe Goldust was probably the first heel that I liked. I think that was the divergence. And it was probably right around the right time, because that's when I'm starting to get to be a teenager. The wholesome stuff isn't really clicking anymore. Yeah, Goldust and Mankind were probably the first heels that I was into. But
now,
it was
when
tough.
the man said you and your daughter have a good time, did you like turn to your dad and go, "Dad, sorry about that. I just like the guy. I'm not really trying to embarrass you."
No, the first instinct was embarrassment on my part. But then, even then, I just thought about it for a second and started laughing at how embarrassed my dad had to be.
Oh, man.
Your parents were good people. Are
They
they both still alive?
Yeah, no, very good people. They're still, I mean, they're watching all this now. You know, in disbelief of like, how did you, it worked. You know what I mean? Like it worked. How did you figure it out?
Did your parents ever like pull you aside and have like that talk, like, you know, hey, listen, you're probably gonna not make a lot of money being a fan of wrestling. Maybe you should do something else.
I mean, there were so many talks. Like, it was, I mean, and they must have been exhausted with
They dress like Goldust, man. They better have talks with him.
Yeah. Me and Mr. Brisco want to talk
to you. I mean, it was like, you know, and they would try to be nice. You know, you could try to make some new friends, trying to get me in with a different friend group, or like, you know, you concentrate a lot on this wrestling stuff. If you just concentrated a little more over here, maybe you could move it into something slightly constructive to your life at all. And I mean,
were you at least a good student in school? I mean,
no, I was, I mean, as middle of the road as you could possibly get.
It was just an average white boy.
That's right. Brisco aren't throwing stones at anybody not being a good student.
Yeah, no, we're not. Took John 6 years to get out of high school.
Good 6 years though. Fun.
He had a good time.
It was a Texas high school anyway.
So, Sam, as you get into high school and start to go to college, and at this point, all you want to do you just want to be in wrestling? Is that what you wanted to do? Did you have any idea what you wanted to do?
No, I mean, you know, because you come to the realization, I mean, if you're a you know, person with a brain and you look in the mirror and you see Sam Roberts looking back at you, you come to the realization early enough that you're not going to be an athlete. You're not going to be a wrestler. Like that's not going to work. So there was this like, you know, even as a kid going like, oh, maybe I could be like a commentator and started mimicking, you know, like Vince and Macho Man and all that stuff. But even like I had no sort of media connections at all. Like the idea of how somebody would even do that was totally foreign to me. So I mean, you know, like I would start little businesses like selling like bootleg wrestling VHS tapes and stuff on the internet.
Really,
And
really, wow.
oh yeah. Yeah. And doing stuff like that.
Now,
And
how did you do that? Explain how you did that. Because what year was this?
it's what now it's like 98, 99 probably.
So there's no YouTube, no internet that you
Right.
can put your name out on. So you're just doing it by correspondence, by mail, or what?
Well, you could start like AOL was starting, so you could put like websites together where you had your list of tapes that you had, right? And kind of send them along and get on these like kind of like newsletter, wrestling like newsletter email lists that you would get your links out to, or find message boards that you could post your stuff to. And yeah, I mean, it was literally just, you know,
So you're the blame for Melcher being so big. You kept
Yeah.
subscribing to him and earlier, kept giving him funds to grow.
So